Tyreek Hill, I said that. Tyreek Hill has amazing focus. It's pretty remarkable. Jeff, why are you about to talk about Tyreek Hill? It's a fair question. Doesn't seem like it would be, much of a topic today. Who does it? I'm going to talk about Tyreek Hill because his life on the football field is pretty impressive, to say the least. He is arguably the most dangerous player in the game when it comes to the ball in his hands. He's the most dangerous player in the game in the NFL, not named Patrick Mahomes. There's that part. There's the football part of Tyreek Hill. But more importantly, off the field, this guy's life is nuts. And he is now involved in the most bizarre, at times comical, lawsuit you've ever heard. This thing has got to be televised. It's just got to be televised. He's a mess. I mean, how this guy could be in all the issues, legal issues that he's in all the time, it seems like. All of the love issues he seems to have all the time. Now all the injury issues off the field he seems to have a lot of the time, particularly with this one. And then he can turn right around and be the second most dangerous player in pro football today. Remember, Tyreek Hill is a player, a receiver for the Miami Dolphins. By the way, he's 5'10", 185 pounds. And you're going to think, well, who cares, Jeff? It's very important, okay? It is very important for the conversation. But Tyreek Hill ends up with, 119 catches. He has almost 1,800 yards receiving. He was on pace to have a 2,000-yard receiving season, but he missed at least 2 games, was injured for 2 to 3 others. He had something like 191 targets. He averaged 16 yards a catch. He, I believe, is clocked at the fastest time of the entire season, or second fastest time, at close to 24 miles per hour. The guy is freakish on the field. He really is. Off the field, oh my. Well, here we go. I don't know what, I'm not optimistic if you start posting on this that it's going to be tasteful. I'm not optimistic at all. I am not optimistic that you're going to be well behaved. I think you're probably going to be offensive at times. All that stuff is probably in play, but it's almost impossible not to do. Tyreek Hill is involved in a lawsuit now. Did I mention he's 5'10", 185 pounds? Okay? Just need to know that right now. Tyreek Hill, and I'm not even doing it justice. Let's see. He was kicked out of Oklahoma State for choking his girlfriend. He's involved in at least, and I say at least, it might be 3 or 4, but I know of at least 2 child support cases involving different women. His 6 or 7-year-old set his house on fire. This is all this season, last few months. And now he's being sued by a model over a blocking drill that didn't turn out so right. Did I mention he's 5'10", 185 pounds? Okay, good. Here we go. Oh, Tyreek. Oh, I forgot to mention he wants to retire and do porn. Yeah, that too. Tyreek Hill probably pulls down about, I don't know, $20 million a year, easily. He's probably worth it. I don't know what male porn actors make, but I'll bet you it's not anywhere close to $20 million. It might not even be minimum wage, but he said he wants to retire early to do porn. Okay, that is the backdrop for the mess that is Tyreek Hill. Now get ready for this. This really is straight out of a Coen Brothers movie. You couldn't make it up. If you did, you'd get paid for the script and it would be hilarious. So here we go. Miami Dolphins star Tyreek Hill is facing a lawsuit from a model who claims his anger caused a blocking drill at his house to go horribly wrong. Now, I'm going to have to read that again because there's no way any of that made any sense. Tyreek Hill is facing a lawsuit from a model who claims his anger caused a blocking drill at his house to go horribly wrong. All right, got it? There's the setup. Yeah, during blocking drills at his house with a model. A model. Did I tell you that Tyreek Hill weighs 185 pounds? Did I tell you that? Just need you to know that. Okay, so let's go. Who's the model, Jeff? Why are they blocking each other in his house? Why? I don't know. It's Tyreek Hill. It's what he does. Sophie Hall. Don't know who she was before now, but we now know her name. Sophie Hall. Who's Sophie Hall, everyone? If you said to yourself, well, that is Jeff, that's a plus-sized influencer, you'd be right. That is a plus-sized influencer. I don't know what that means. No, I don't. I have no idea what that means. So Sophie Hall, a plus-sized influencer with 2 million followers on Instagram, claims she was invited to take part in blocking drills at his house. Now, does it sound romantic to you? It doesn't really sound that romantic to me. I've never heard that kind of line before. You know, it'd be great if you come over to the house and we work on some blocking drills, because that's just what Tyreek Hill does. But did I mention he weighs 185? Okay. Put yourself on a jury, because this is just going to be a circus. Put yourself on a jury. Because I think his best defense is he weighs 185. You know why? Because Sophie does not. She does not. Here's the case. Her lawyer says Tyreek Hill, a National Football League superstar, perennial Pro Bowler, first-team All-Pro, and world-class athlete nicknamed the Cheetah for his incredible combination of strength and speed, makes his living humiliating and outperforming his competition on the football field. Unfortunately, the lawsuit says, after getting humiliated in front of friends and family where he was knocked backwards during a football lesson by his friend Sophie Hall, Tyreek became enraged and forcibly and purposefully shoved Ms. Hall, fracturing her leg. All right, what's the deal here, Jeff? Why would Tyreek do that? Tyreek's defense is he and the plus-sized influencer were doing blocking drills at his house. And she claims he shoved her back. But hang on, jury. Sophie is 6'1" and weighs 250 pounds. Maybe that's why Tyreek wanted to practice his blocking, which I don't pay Tyreek Hill to block. You know that? I don't really care how much. I think it's neat that Tyreek Hill wants to practice his blocking. I wouldn't recommend plus-size models at his house, but if I'm the Miami Dolphins, I'm not that concerned about Tyreek Hill's blocking. I need Tyreek to catch more passes. But Tyreek decided he was going to refine his skill in blocking, and he invited over the plus-size influencer at 250 pounds. And he claims she shoved me backwards because she weighs 250. She claims, yeah, I did, but then he shoved me backwards and I broke my leg, so pay me. It's got to be on TV. Like, this is the best thing I've ever heard. Like, this is just the best thing I've ever heard. I don't know what to believe. I mean, I know she's 6'1", 250. Maybe she can't block that well. I don't know. I really don't know. I know you're going to ask, Jeff, they have clothes on. I don't know that either. Probably with Tyreek, probably not. No, I think that Tyreek might be naked a lot. On the first defensive line rep, Hall, that's the plus-size influencer, alleges that she pushed Tyreek Hill backwards, drawing laughter from a group of witnesses watching the blocking drills, including his trainer, his mother, and his sister. Apparently, when Tyreek Hill invites people over to block, plus-size influencers, everyone else needs to come over and watch. Do you think his trainer at any point said, you know what, Tyreek, I don't think it's a great idea we do blocking drills at the house with models. Why don't we just do this at the workout complex? But that's not the way life is for Tyreek Hill. So the model at 6'1", 250 claims that she shoved him backwards, and the trainer, the mom, and the sister all began laughing. This is what she says. Hall claims that Hill became embarrassed and angry, in quotations, and he insisted that they do the drill in opposite positions. The second rep was apparently interrupted by a puppy. Yeah, of course it was. Of course. Can you script this whole thing out, right? The mom's there to watch blocking drills. Everyone's naked doing blocking drills. Tyreek is trying to block a 250-pound model. And then the dog comes up. It happens. Could happen in a real game. The second rep, she claims in her lawsuit, was interrupted by a puppy. The third rep saw Ms. Hall, the plus-size influencer, shoved Tyreek back. But on the fourth rep, because I guess we're going to do 10 reps of blocking drills today and then put our clothes back on and just chat. On the fourth rep, Hill allegedly charged into her with great force, leaving her in excruciating pain. Not to say that Tyreek does not have issues, not to say that he doesn't have anger issues, but if you're lining up and blocking each other and the fourth one, he shoved you backwards, that's part of the drill. If you signed up to do blocking drills at Tyreek's house, which I think is a really bad idea, I would not go to Tyreek's house. And then it burned down, of course, by his kid. But I wouldn't go to Tyreek's house. I don't think that's a good night. Never seems to end very well for anyone. But if you go to his house, if you're sitting on a jury right now, you go to his house and you agree to line up sumo style and block Tyreek Hill or have Tyreek Hill block you in one-on-one blocking drills at his house in front of his mom, and he shoves you backwards, is that a crime? I mean, Tyreek's given up 70-something pounds. I'm just throwing it out there because I don't know. I don't know if he's guilty this time, but I guess we're going to find out. So he shoved her back. She claims she broke her leg. She was later diagnosed with a fracture in her right leg. The lawsuit contains pictures of her leg and x-rays, and she had to have surgery on the broken leg. She posted a video of herself in a wheelchair with the same x-rays. So now we've got a civil case going on, one of a dozen of these civil cases against Tyreek Hill. Get the cast of characters together again. Tyreek, plus-size model, blocking drills in front of his mom, trainer, and sister, and shockingly it all goes horribly wrong.